That's cut called, obviously, Cool Living, rightly named, and it's one of three cuts, I should say, one of the cuts from one of three new albums by my guest, Terrence Richburg. His albums are Portrait of Adoration, Beyond Measures, the one we're hearing primarily this hour so far, Rich Spirit 1, and he's written a new book called Soul of a Poet's Heart, a gallery of poetry, prose, and songs, and so much more than we have time to talk about during this quick visit. But again, we're kind of revisiting a feature we had on a regular basis some years ago called Celebrating the Arts. And when I saw recently that Terrence had some new work out, I said, we need to talk with this man again. So he's arranged his schedule to come in the studio with me for a few minutes and talk about these things. And I'd like to get your assessment, Terrence, as to where we are as a society in general, but also as a religious society, Christian society, church, if you will, in terms of music today and its influence on our lives. I think it's music is one of the most powerful, formative forces anywhere. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think we're at a place now, especially because musicians and artists are able, because of technology, to put their ideas down and record them with a sound that is professional, that's excellent for people to hear, and you know, listeners tend to compare what they hear to other things that they hear. So, for instance, gospel music now is at a level where it's competitive for the ears and listeners who may primarily listen to secular music. And so I think we're at a point where gospel music just inspired music from God can be heard by the world, not just locally. Because of the internet, people can download, people can get to music from all over the world. So I think we're at a special place where artists are able to share who they are, who God has inspired them to be. In general, I think we're at a place where we really need God. We just need Jesus to, I guess at some point we get frustrated with some of the things that are going on with the world. Music is a place where you can take a person where everything's okay. The message or just the sound of music, I'm reminded of David, how he shared his musical gift to soothe the soul, to soothe the mind, no matter what you're going through. Even the song you were just playing, which is called Cool Living, don't let what's going on in this world get you down. Just know that God is in control. We don't have to worry about it, even though we might get anxious. God is always telling us in His Word not to worry about anything, just to rely and lean on Him. So I think music has that powerful message to kind of take us to that place where we can just lay prostrate on God and just allow the sounds of what He has created to really take us to a place of peace and assurance that God is going to be there for us.
Other than your own music, which God gives to you, what sort of music, what artists really minister to you the most?
Well, like I said, that's a lot. Because every style of music kind of ministers to me in different ways. Yeah. I'm ministered to by people like Aretha Franklin, because her music really kind of gets your soul stirring. I'm ministered by people like I said, Richard Smallwood, because his music speaks from a place of not only the classics as far as the sound of the music and inspiration, but it really gets to the heart of the message of connecting you with God. And there are just many of those artists. But then I'm also inspired by people, jazz artists, who they kind of let you know that God is just so much bigger than what we can even imagine. And they kind of usher us into the area of improvisation, just music that flows from your heart. It's not necessarily written down everything, but it just kind of flows. And we limit God. We put Him in a box so many times, not understanding that God created this gift of music. And I imagine when we get to heaven, it's just going to blow our minds. Anything that we've heard on earth is just not going to even compare.
And would you agree that churches, of course, and congregations do develop their own musical tastes and styles and preferences, but I think we need to be careful, as you've already so intimated from what I've heard, that God loves. I did years ago a show when I first came here. I did, what kind of music does God like?
Right.
Right. And depending on who you're listening to, it's their favorite music that he likes and nothing else.
Right.
But I said God probably even likes Zydeco. He loves, because he really, in my view, he loves music that comes from a sincere and pure heart.
Yes.
Doesn't matter the genre so much as where's this person coming from in terms of their heart. Would you agree?
I would agree. And in fact, I think what, in terms of saying that, because God has given us this ability to take these 12 notes, and of course in some countries it's more than that, because they have these half and quarter tones. But it's a way where he's given us these tools to create so much. And I think, as you said, people will gravitate towards what they like, but God is so much bigger than that. And he can inspire people. He can even draw people to himself just by the gift of hearing a song, hearing the music, a lyric, something that speaks to their heart.
And we need to be tolerant of those who like a style we don't like, or vice versa. We don't have to all, as you've already intimated, we don't have to all like the same thing, but we do have to recognize it could be something that helps someone else move toward God.
It's just like food. I mean, we all don't like the same kinds of food. We like different flavors. Well, God created that too. So we can't say, well, you like steak and I like chicken. Well, you're wrong because you like steak.
Good point.
So I agree. I mean, even I had to come to the point where the first time I heard Christian rap, in my mind I was like, I don't know about that. But then when I heard it from an artist that I respect, just the outpouring of the Spirit from it, it caught me up, and I was like, wow, what a gift.
Back with more in a moment. Terrence Richburg, his website is his name, Terrence, Richburg with a U. TerrenceRichburg.com, Facebook.com/Terrence.Richburg. His Twitter.com is Duane, actually, Duane, Rich. I will try to repeat that again in a moment.